Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're doing something a little different. Forget the usual reports or news analysis. For this deep dive, our source material is actually really personal and well pretty concise. It's just a single journal entry.
Just one entry. Interesting.
Yeah, it comes from the My Daily Journal section on our website, evolutionrevolutionoflove.com. It's a place where people can securely jot down their thoughts. And this specific one, it's labeled End of Day Reflection, dated July 15th, 2025.
Okay.
What we want to explore, sort of our mission today, is how these, tiny moments from one person's ordinary day might actually hold bigger lessons. Like, what can we pull from this? What are the real-world takeaways hidden in just, well, someone's day?
It's a fantastic idea, actually. I mean, getting to look at such a specific, detailed reflection, that's quite rare. It really is a window, isn't it, into practical self-awareness,
Yeah.
how someone actually handles their day-to-day stuff, the good and the bad. And we'll get into it, I think, how they managed a tricky work thing, maybe built some good habits, even dealt with feeling anxious. It's all about seeing how these little pieces connect to, growth and just navigating life.
Okay, so let's jump into this day, July 15th. The entry kicks off by calling it a mix of challenges and small victories. First thing mentioned is a bit of a rough start, actually, a difficult client meeting. But they seem pretty proud of how they handled it. What jumps out at you there?
Well, yeah, what's really striking isn't just that it went okay, but how. The entry specifically says, instead of getting defensive when the clients push back.
Right, which is easy to do.
Totally.
Yeah.
Instead, they made a point to really listen to the concerns and then, crucially, looked for common ground. That's more than just being polite, it's strategic. They actively looked for shared solutions.
So moving away from defending their own idea.
Yeah. Exactly. Shifting from my way or the highway to okay, how can we make this work? It changes the whole feel of the conversation, takes the tension down, opens things up for actual collaboration, especially important when, stakes are high at work.
That reframing, yeah, moving from defense to solving it together. I think that's useful everywhere, not just work meetings. It's great communication insight.
No.
Okay, so the entry then kind of shifts gears. From that external challenge, it moves to something internal, a personal win. The afternoon got better. They mentioned finishing a big project, one that took weeks, and described feeling deeply satisfying. We've all been there, right? That relief.
Oh, absolutely. That feeling, project completion, it's not just, a quick phew. It's a really powerful psychological reward. It validates all the effort you put in. And that kind of positive feedback, it builds momentum, makes you feel good about your job, helps you keep going on the next thing. Honestly, it can even help prevent burnout.
It's like your brain saying, nice job, let's do that again.
Exactly. And it wasn't only about work tasks either. There's a mention of a great conversation with Sarah over lunch, something about marketing strategy.
Yes. And apparently Sarah had some really good insights about targeting younger demographics. It got them thinking in new ways. It's such a good reminder, isn't it?
Yeah.
That sometimes the best ideas, the real sparks, they don't come from formal meetings.
Right. They come from those casual chats. A quick lunch can actually lead to, well, genuinely fresh thinking.
Totally. But then the entry gets quite personal again. It shows how this person dealt with something super common.
Yeah.
Anxiety before a big event.
Yeah, this part is really interesting. It's practical self-management right there on the page. They mention feeling anxious about a presentation the next day.
Okay.
But here's the key. Instead of just, sitting with the anxiety, they did something about it mentally. They reminded themselves they were prepared, thinking, slides are solid, know the material inside and out.
Right. Focusing on the facts.
Precisely. It's not just wishful thinking. It's what psychologists call cognitive reappraisal. You're actively changing how you frame the situation. By focusing on the concrete evidence, I've done the work, they directly push back against the anxious feelings. And what really struck me was their realization. They wrote, sometimes the anticipation is worse than the actual event.
Oh, that's... Sometimes the anticipation is worse than the actual event.
Yeah.
That feels so true, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, I've definitely felt that. It really speaks to how being prepared can be like a mental shield.
It really can.
And sticking with self-awareness, they also had a moment of honesty about their daily habits. They admitted to scrolling social media during their lunch break instead of taking a proper mental break.
And that's a really critical point today, right? Digital habits, mindful breaks. What's good here is they didn't just notice it. They recognized it wasn't actually restful or helpful. And then they immediately thought of an alternative. Instead of scrolling, maybe step outside. or read a book for a few minutes to feel, as they put it, more refreshed.
So recognizing the pattern and actively choosing something different.
Exactly. It shows they understand that habit loop, the cue, the routine, the reward, and they consciously decided to swap out the routine for a better reward. It's a small thing, maybe, but it's a practical adjustment. It leads to better mental clarity, helps you actually recharge, which, helps you stay productive long term.
Makes sense.
And then the entry wraps up feeling pretty good, grateful for a productive day, and optimistic about that presentation.
Okay, so let's pull this all together. After digging into this one person's day through their journal, what are the big takeaways for you listening? We saw how they handled that difficult client meeting, right? By listening, finding common ground, not getting defensive, turning potential conflict into, well, teamwork.
Yeah, that was key.
Then there was that deeply satisfying feeling from project completion. It wasn't just about being done, it was about that psychological boost it gives you for future work.
Absolutely. Reinforcement.
And that great conversation with Sarah over lunch, leading to new insights about targeting younger demographics, shows how valuable those informal chats can be for real innovation.
Exactly. And we also saw that very practical anxiety management technique for the presentation, realizing that being prepared, knowing you're prepared, is a powerful way to reframe that pre-event stress. It counters the anticipation.
Right, the anticipation that's often worse than the thing itself.
Mm-hmm. And then that moment of honesty about the social media habits at lunch, leading straight to a proactive idea. Step outside, read a book. Just being aware of what truly resets your mind. It's about digital well-being, effective breaks.
So if we connect these dots, this single entry, it really shows how these small, regular acts of just noticing, reflecting, can shine a light on specific work challenges. And it fosters gratitude, boosts productivity.
Definitely. It showed them acknowledging both the struggles and the successes, and importantly, identifying where they could maybe tweak things for the better, growth areas.
It really highlights the power of just paying attention to your own experience.
It absolutely does, which leads to, maybe, a final thought for you to consider. How might paying closer attention, reflecting on your own daily experiences, the meetings, the breaks, the conversations, the feelings, just like we saw in this journal, how might that reveal some powerful insights, maybe even surprising ones, about pathways for your own growth, both personally and professionally, that you might be overlooking right now?